So reports are brewing that Orlando Brown Jr. wants to be the highest paid left tackle in the league, and reports are that we are going to make him that, just that. The Chiefs are currently waiting for Brown to sign an agent, so they really can't pursue any talks until he gets an agent. So he's apparently the last few weeks he's been going through a bunch of interviews to find an agent. And the Chiefs are hoping to hammer out this long-term deal by the July 15th deadline. So we got about a month and a half for them to do that. Also with that, I also saw that the Chiefs cannot really make any moves. So, we talk about getting another edge or getting another D lineman. We can't really make any moves until this deal is done, because apparently with this extension, we'll be able to get more money or spend more money. I think we just kind of want to knock that out first before we get like another edge. Right. And I think it's what we talked about. It's going to be a veteran guy who we're obviously not in a rush to sign, but who we know will probably be there after we get this done in July 15th. That's what the rumors are out there. But the interesting thing was, according to Jordan Schultz, Brett Veach is a giant fan of Orlando Brown. Obviously, traded a first-round pick for him. Huge fan of him, and he sees him as essential to our team's long-term success, having a 26-year-old left tackle for, however long we signed him for. So, big deal for the Chiefs to get this done in the next month and a half. So, what are your thoughts on making Orlando Brown the highest-paid left tackle in the league? Do you think it's deserving?
Okay. I'll say this. I think Orlando Brown is deserving of good money. I know he's going to be probably up there with Trent. That's just where the market is, right? Mm-hmm. So he's going to be at, the market price of, left tackles in the game. And I think, Veach is thinking, like I thought, once you brought him over from Baltimore, that you wanted to tie his career in with Patrick's. To be honest with you, why wouldn't you, right? You got a solid guy that's playing left tackle who was the right tackle. You want to keep a guy like that here to always protect Patrick's blind side. There's no question about it. So I think just business-wise, it makes sense, right? Because, trying to find like an all-pro tackle is tough to do. Mm. And so if you're trying to find another guy next year, you might be able to get a guy in the draft, but he still's got to develop. That is a little more risky than getting a guy who was proven, who was a Pro Bowler, multiple Pro Bowler. That's the issue. And so when we're sitting over and I'm thinking about this, Orlando Brown was making the transition to left tackle last year, okay? And he was going to have a couple of snafus. He was going to have a couple of issues, which he did. I'm just going to be blatantly honest, and he'll be blatantly honest with you too. I think that's why he's putting a lot of work into his feet. His shuffle and whatnot, because he wasn't perfect over at left tackle last year at all, right? He got beat sometimes on the speed rushes, and I think he'll start working with that this offseason. And so he's going to get better. He's going to get better, man. He's a heck of an athlete, and he's a great player. He's one of the top players in the league on the O-line. So you get a guy like that up. You got Thuney here for a while. You got that young line with Creed, Trey. You got Kennard here now, so you got some guys that you can keep here for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And your main focus is to make sure 15 doesn't get hit. He doesn't get touched. So that's why we see Orlando's out there catching the tennis balls and playing tennis and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's great. That's great. The question is, do you not pay him now, right? And then try to get another guy in free agency who might cost you a lot more money trying to get here. It's like, dang, you know what? We should have gone ahead and did this. Yeah. And it's going back to the same deal we was talking about with Tyreek, is saying, look, let's go ahead and short this guy up right now, because later down the road, next year it's going to be more money. Yep. So let's go ahead and get this deal done. Let's go ahead and take care of it. That's one thing we don't have to worry about anymore, and we're good, right? So I think it makes sense, makes business sense. Everybody wants guys to be better. He wants to be better, right? He wants to be paid as one of the top tackles. I think that you can definitely argue the point that he should be paid right up there with it. It's going to get more expensive down the road. And like I said, if you try to get a guy in the draft, the first round, we're sitting at 30 right now, and you had to do a lot of trades to get a guy up there. Then I don't know a guy who's going to come in and be a Pro Bowl right off the bat like that. No. So makes sense, man.
And plus, kind of what you said, with, like next year, you don't sign him right now. You wait till next year. And then a guy who's below Orlando Brown gets a contract. It kind of like just like the Tyreek Hill situation.
Yeah.
We have the long-term deal in play.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Kirk gets signed for 16, 17 million a year. Like, whoa. If Christian Kirk's getting 16 million, 17 million a year, let's hold off on this whole thing. Let's wait to see what Devontae is. Because that was no receiver was really signing, and all of a sudden he does that. Then
right.
Let's wait to see what Devontae does. Devontae does what he does, and the rest is history. So in this case, we don't want some subpar left tackle getting paid a lot of money. We're like, man, okay, we really are going to have to go all out for Orlando Brown. So yeah, I think you're right. I think doing it now actually will help us, because as the salary cap gets bigger, and when these guys can pay these ridiculous amounts of money, which is well earned,
yeah,
kind of have to do that now and getting it done early. And I think they might have learned a lesson. That's why they want to get it done by July 15th.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it just makes sense to me. Because the thing is, the guys that I thought that as far as play tackle, that was free agencies last year, because it's like, look, we thinking about this guy like Collins. I think he went up there to the Bengals. He was a guy I was just like, man, he's a stud. That's a guy, like, if you're going to make the decision, go ahead and do that right now, right? And so I think that was always the deal that they had with Orlando Brown. They knew they was going to tag him.
Yep.
And I think he actually, which makes sense. He's like, man, look, I done seen two guys that was top of their game. Tyreek Hill, Honey Badger, not on the Chiefs because of contract negotiation.
Yep.
Right? So, hey, foretold is forewarned. Yeah. All right? Forewarned is foretold. So this is, he's seen the writing on the wall. Like, look, if we're going to do something, I got to push the envelope. You got to don't wait. You ain't got time to wait like that. So, Hey, man, I hope they get a deal done. We don't know what it's going to be, but I know they're going to be pushing for the negotiation. I know they said that they're looking for agents and whatnot. Orlando Brown. I don't know, man. I just, my thing is, like I said before, to me, it's risky to try to wait a little bit longer.
And I think it's what you said. I mean, I actually never thought about it this way. It's like they wanted to have Mahomes and Orlando Brown kind of age together, where they can go together for the rest. And as a fan, I just want to, we get this whole line, we get this figured out. Our line is set for the next 4 to 5 years.
Right.
We don't think about it. We don't even think about center, guard, tackle. Hopefully Kennard pans out, because we don't think about other tackle for a while.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, 26 is so young. I didn't realize how young he was.
Yeah, man. But look, money's going up. You might as well get a guy right now where he's in his prime. I mean, he's a prime left tackle, man. He's playing at a high level. Yeah. And I think, like I said, this year, because now this will be a second year at left tackle, he's going to be even better. Yeah. Right. So I was one of those that's kind of, a little critical on with some of the things he was doing. Like, man, he been getting his feet back, but hey, man, it's that going from one position to another, left tackle, right tackle to left tackle, is not that easy. It's not that easy. So, hey, he's going against high caliber guys. And so when you, especially, when you're going against in our division, okay, our conference, you need a guy like that for sure. Okay. Don't waste somebody. I see somebody put out there, other guys, Fisher. And I'm like, look, man, you got a guy here, right? Come on. Yeah. Don't let this guy get away from you. Okay.
You can't be cheap. It's like we always talk about. You can't be cheap when you're blocking for that guy's blind side.
Right, man. You get what you pay for, brother.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, and I also hope that talk about because there was times last year where guys were beating him to the point, as you would say, they're beating him to the spot.
Yeah,
I hope this offseason, and tells. I mean, he's doing tennis workouts. I hope he has shed a little weight, because it did look at times where he was kind of too heavy and too slow to get back there. And you mentioned it before in the show. Yeah. So I hope he did. I hope he did kind of shed some weight. But I gotta say, the one thing that I've really liked since we've got Orlando, it's like he really took to the team. Like, he became close to the guys. He was at him and Patrick actually are very close. He went to his wedding. And so it's cool to see their left tackle quarterback have gotten so close. And, just nice to see, because those are positions that you want to have a good budding relationship with.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, as a quarterback, the one you want to take out to dinner and treat really well is the one that's protecting you. Yep. The one that's watching your back. Yep. So that's all that I could always appreciate that, man. Trent was a good guy, man. Hey, look, he treated us well. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. It's keeping me upright. So that's how it works, brother.
Yeah. So as far as with Orlando Brown, so you'd be okay with him getting more than what Trent Williams is making right now?
See, now you said that. I don't know. I know he now he might.
That's highest paid left tackle.
I know it. But is it going to be more like on like Trent Williams? His thing. And if he is,
you got to do it.
Cut the check, right? It's going to hurt. But look, we know it's going to sting. Yep. But you're going to be better off for it because now it's like, look, you like you said, you don't have to worry about it for another few years. Yep. You got this line, sewn up for number of years right now. It's going to hurt to write that on there.
Yeah. And I'll say this too. We always talk about, we always give other teams in AFC West props, like their edge rushers. And that's one thing. You got a lot of these Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos fans who have watched our show before, and it's like, oh, Chiefs homers. It's like, no, we actually give you guys a lot of respect and a lot of credit. But I will say, those other teams, we have the best left tackle in the division right now. Those other teams don't have a better left tackle than.
It's not even. It's not even a question.
What they have as far as edge rushers, we don't have. What we have is off the line and a tackle. We have the best. It's probably the best line in the division easily, actually.
That's why you invest and prioritize having a guy like that, because you know what the division has on the other side of it, right? And you got to protect 15 back there, man. That's like E said all the time. That's the Brinks truck.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Don't mess with that back there.
Yeah, it's just that we talk about how these other teams have spent so much money on edge. It's like, okay, well, that's fine. And we've been cheap with money. So now it's our time, at least this offseason we have, not with overall, because look at Patrick's contract, but look at what we haven't spent money in. Now it's time to spend, and we're spending to kind of be the anti of what every other team is spent on, which is getting edge rushers to come at us. Now we spend on our left tackle to protect Patrick for the next 5 to 6 years, however long that contract is. Right.
But you did a good job in the draft, addressing what you needed on defense, because I think it was really one of the biggest issues, right? Of getting guys on defense. And so now what you do, you have a young defense, you have a faster defense, you have a harder defense, and you can get guys in here who play in that support role that's not going to cost you a whole lot of money, right? Who don't have to come to OTAs or training. They want to come to training camp and come in when they need to, and be a merc, and it's like, look, play the 1 year, whatever. You can spend money on guys like that, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. Now it becomes, this is your priority. Here's the next level.
Yeah. So. And I'm very curious to see, because they said that kind of getting this deal done, you're going to see kind of other moves with that. Once we get this Orlando Brown deal done, to bring in other guys, because we're trying to hammer this one out before we can expend other guys. Because, I was kind of upset this week when I saw that Akeem Hicks, the D tackle, went to Tampa Bay, 1 year, $10 million deal. I was like,
I know it. Yeah. Hey, that'd have been a house right there.
Well, it'd been great. But when I see that, it's like, okay, well, this Orlando Brown thing happens. Maybe we do spend on an edge or a lead tackle. And, like we said before, JPP, no Spags. It would make sense. And then we could bring in, I want a Sue and JPP bring in at the same time. But that's a
boy. I'd be like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Here we go. Bring them two jokers in. We can do it.
Yeah. But I mean, we'll see. But I just think that once this move happens, I think we're going to see a couple other moves, and hopefully that does happen, because we've been begging for the kind of the reinforcements on the edge and the D line going into training camp, and then at that point let the guys battle out, and whoever's the better guys obviously will make the team. So
that's right.
Yeah. Hi everybody, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get podcasts.